Well, my name is Regina, and I graduated from London College of Fashion in 2009. And yeah, rock on. And basically, what happened is in 2009, just before our graduation, I unfortunately got diagnosed with an illness, and I could not actually physically finish my graduate course. And my teachers and everyone came up to me and said, we think you should take a year out and actually just compose yourself. You know, you're already an A student, which I don't know where they got that from, but they were telling me, you're already an A grade student, you do not need to push yourself to this level. And I'm one of those people that is so determined, and if you tell me that I can't do something, it's almost like a challenge, but a good challenge, because I can actually realize there are certain things you can't do. But I know within myself, if I can do something and I'm able to do it, I will go for it and I will do it. And I will try to do it to my best ability. Whether I succeed or fail, I will learn from it either way. And in 2009, they told me this, and I was heartbroken. And I sat down my teachers, and I actually said to them, I don't care if I'm in a hospital bed, I have to graduate with my friends. And they asked me, they said, why? I said, well, last night they all turned up, and they actually told me, if you are going to take a year out, in order for you to get better, to graduate, we're going to do the same. Although we are all perfectly fine, we will do the same. It's almost like a family. And I was like, okay. And they were like, because we all did this journey together and they want to end it, we should end it all together. We should all stand there and be proud of everything we've done. So as soon as they said that, I told my teachers. They didn't quite understand it, teachers being teachers. I apologize for if anyone is a teacher here, by the way. But they quite did not understand the will and the passion that was behind it. So, sorry. So I continued, and they did let me continue. My doctor gave me the go-ahead, and I did. And you know what? I was actually the second person that got the first in my whole class. And I did it. And I did it while being at a hospital bed. And after me, it was my 3 other best friends, to which 2 of them were actually, they were supposed to get kicked out that year. But we all helped each other get to where we wanted to be at that time. And then we graduated, and then it was great, everything was going swimmingly. And I was so lucky enough, literally, I was just about to go to my last ever lesson, and I was on the lift, and my homework was to illustrate live people like yourself sitting there or walking down the street. And it was to illustrate live, and I was really running late. So I was like, I'm in a lift, I've got to draw something. So I started drawing all the people that was in the lift with me. And while I was drawing, there was a guy standing next to me. His name is Piers Atkinson. And he goes to me, wow, that's brilliant, you know, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm late for a lesson, I didn't do my homework, so I'm trying to do it all in now, and we have this special guest speaker coming, he's probably a nobody, but either way I have to do my homework. And he was like, okay, so we get off, and I noticed we're getting off the same floor, and then I noticed we're getting in the same room, and then I sit down and my girlfriend's like, where have you been? And I was like, oh, don't ask me to talk about it later. And then the teacher goes, oh, I would like to introduce you, our guest speaker. And then he comes waltzing in, and I was like, oh no, that's it, I'm in trouble. I am so gonna fail this one class. Out of all the classes, I'm gonna fail this one. And he came, he was like, you know, I'm basically here because for the first time, Vauxhall Fashion Scout are hiring fashion illustrators to come and illustrate live from the catwalk. And this is the first time London College of Fashion actually recognise fashion illustration as a form of art, and then also as a form of a curriculum that they can actually teach. Because one thing that everyone forgets is that every designer or every creative artist, no matter where you are, everyone has a creative process. and it all starts with a pen and paper. So he came and he was like, I'm here to pick 5 people to come and illustrate live at London Fashion Week in front of all the media and everyone. And he's like, I've already found 1 person, so there's only 4 spaces left. And then he goes, Regina, can you please stand up? All my friends just looked at me and goes, did you meet him on Friday night? And I was like, no, I didn't. I met him on the elevator. So you can imagine the expressions at that time. So he picked me, and then he explained the reasons why he picked me. And then he offered the position. He did not, unfortunately, pick my friends. He picked other people at that time that I would actually admit they were stronger illustrators, and they could have probably done the job better, or no, I wouldn't say better, but they could have done the job exactly the way he needed it to be done. Anyway, he said, by the way, Fashion Week starts in 2 days' time. The university has given you guys the leeway to go and actually do this, and it's going to be your end of, it's going to be towards your end of year grades. So I turn up. I'm the first person, this is the first time I've ever been on time, by the way. I turn up and I'm there, and there's no one else, absolutely no one else. So he goes to me, do you know any other illustrators? I said, yeah, I know 4 fantastic people who can do this job with their eyes closed. He goes, do you think they can get here on time? I said, trust me, when I speak to them, they will. So anyway, I called my girlfriends. I think this is the fastest I've ever seen them move to go anywhere, apart from a dance floor. So they all get there, and literally, we had to cover 48 shows in a space of 4 days. And we did it. And every single one of the shows, we sold an illustration for more than £200. That is the whole concept behind my company, The Future Vintage. That is where it all began. And then unfortunately, we all got jobs because of that one job. One of my friends, somehow people could not see that in her. So therefore, I was like, it's so frustrating. And then she called me one day, she's like, I'm at the airport, I'm flying, I'm going back home to Singapore because there's no jobs here. No one wants to hire a graduate, no one wants to work with a graduate. All everyone wants is, you need to have experience, you need to come from somewhere, you need to have a reference. And that really, really frustrated me. And it completely split the group because she was the loudest, the most extravagant, but the most loving at the same time. And I was like, how can they not be a company or some form of support that actually finds these people with these talents? Because we all spend a lot of money. You know how much you spend during, in order to go to that university and do that course. You spend a lot of money, and it was frustrating that majority of them had to end up working either in Tesco's, not that there's anything wrong in Tesco's, but in those kind of jobs, and it had nothing to do with what their passion and what their goals and what their values were in life. And that is what the whole company is based around. It's all about your passion, your values, your goals. Where do you want to be? And my biggest motto is, I don't care if I have to sign on the job seekers every single week, because you know what? I get up every morning saying I love doing the job that I love, and there will be nothing that will stop me in order for me to get to where I want to be in that. So my question to you all will be, when you go back today, I'm actually going to say this because I actually nicked this from a very wise man who's also a mentor to me, and he's also a very good friend to me, and he's helped me to get the company from where it was in 2010 to where it is today. He asked me these same questions when he met me. What are your goals? What are your values? What are your passion? And what is your purpose? And where do you want to be? His name is Derry Lewis. And without him, without me knowing that, we would not be where we are today. So the people that will be walking down this stage and actually walking out is everyone. The designers, some of them haven't even graduated yet. Some of them are still in the first year. The models, we got them off the street and we asked them, what's your passion? They go, I love fashion, I would love to do something in fashion. We say, why don't you join our company? This is what we do. We find innovative people, we find passionate people, we find people who love fashion and who appreciate fashion, who will go that little bit further to actually show what fashion is in the eye of the beholder. So you go out there, you speak to your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter, your friend, your uncle, whoever they may be, and you ask them, do your goals, passion, purpose all line up? And do you wake up every morning loving what you do? Because honestly, that is the essence of fashion in my eyes. So I am going to leave and present you our first designer, who unfortunately could not be here, but she couldn't be here because Burberry has just hired her to do their next line. And I told her not to say that now because I want to go to that show. So therefore, she can't be here, but you will see her collection is just as great, and she hasn't even graduated yet. So the first collection is going to be Victoria lines, and then the second one's going to be Holly Willis. Recognize without the other people that are going to come up now, there will be no future vintage. We actually all are the future vintage. We are going to be representing the future of the fashion industry. So without further ado, I would please like to present my whole team, from the hair and makeup and the stuff that makes us all this happen, the future vintage. Thank you all very much, and I hope you enjoy the show. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact either myself, Karen, or any of us. Just approach us and we'll be happy to give you more information. Thank you all.